Wow.
I'm coming.
Happy Monday.
Happy
It
Monday.
is.
It's official. We all back in this thing.
It's a Monday morning quarterback around this camp. We are sponsored today by Simply Lemonade. Y'all ain't talking around here.
Are they talking, Bishop?
Doritos, we want to thank them for them flaming hot nachos.
Listen,
Hot for no reason.
I mean,
And Simply Lemonade
literally hot for
cranberry.
no reason.
Y'all ain't
Not
talking.
land the reason at all.
We got Nonies. They in the house
Biscoff.
with the artesian breads.
Oh my God, I had one of those left in my bag from last week. Whew.
Love those.
I ate it in the middle of the night.
There's a lot of colors up here.
Love those.
We are a colorful day. Matter of fact, Bishop, I almost wore my Jericho t-shirt too.
I was
Wow.
on mine too. I couldn't find it.
You couldn't find it.
Really?
Oh, must be in the wash.
You still got the color because that it's picking up.
Yeah, it's got a little hint of orange in there. You
Mm-hmm.
know, everything has been everything. Y'all know what time it is. We
Coordinated.
are back in this house.
Man, I'm so excited, man. Well, I don't know about y'all, man. Let me tell you now. I feel refreshed, revived, and rejuvenated. We got any other reads? I
That's a
feel.
good one.
I feel
Revitalized.
Restored.
revitalized, restored.
Yes.
I feel like I have recuperated.
You've been remixed and remastered.
Oh my God! And you see what I'm saying?
That means you've been re-released.
Oh,
Isn't that something?
re-released, huh?
And we had to have it because there's been a lot of stuff going on here
Man.
at Jericho No Walls. We can't even explain it. Shout out to everybody that's still subscribing and helping us grow. Make sure you click down in the description. There'll be a link in there for you to click to so you can partner with us in our email campaign. If you haven't seen our $2 in the sub promotion, that thing been jumping off.
$2 and a sub.
And we've got so many things coming down the pipe. We've been upgrading our equipment and internet and cameras and just, it's so many great things happening.
The audio, the mics,
The audio, the visual, just the sound, our whole campaign and how we're going to be out on the streets. Speaking of being out on the streets.
out on the streets.
Jericho was all in the mix this week over at a spot called Revolt World.
Oh
yeah,
my
we was up in
Lord!
that thing.
In the streets.
We
We
was up
had
in
a
that
great
thing.
time.
Yes,
Real
we
great
did.
time.
Oh my goodness, the networking, being able
I'm
to
be back,
see.
y'all. Hold on, I gotta get part of this, part of our props. Hold on.
Part of the
We got
props?
a prop.
Wow.
We got a prop in the studio tonight.
But tell us about Revolt. What is Revolt World?
So Revolt World is a space that was created by Revolt, the brand, Revolt Television, which is owned by none other than the Sean P. Diddy Combs Love, however, whatever you want to call him. And it's for people in the industry, creatives, podcasters, people who want to be in the entertainment space. So they had job, like on the spot job interviews. They had multiple different breakout sessions, mental health and hip hop, podcaster summit that we actually attended. And we went to the Love Lounge. We saw they had a gaming portion to it. They had the world stage, the Revolt stage, the culture
And all
lounge.
this was like in a secret location or something?
It was definitely at a secret location.
Wow.
But the location itself actually was a movie studio, and it actually was the initial movie studio that Tyler Perry owned here before he went and bought over at Fort Mac. So it's actually a movie lot.
What I am mad that I missed was I kept saying when we were there, I kept saying, oh, I want to go in there, and it was a place called the Maker Studio.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sad that I didn't get to go in there, and Manny Fresh had a full concert in there. And
It's something about Manny
I saw it today
Fresh
on
Fresh
YouTube, and I'm like, oh my God, I
We
was
missed
there.
that.
It wasn't even on the schedule. I guess I went back this morning and looked at the schedule. I'm like, nothing says anything about it. The Maker Studio is not even on that schedule at all. So whatever they had in there was not. But when Markell and I left the Jeezy seminar, I seen a lot of people with bags, and I kept saying something must have happened in that studio. But Manny Fresh had a full concert. He brought out Turk, which was one of the original Hot Boys. And it's on YouTube.
Hot Boy Turk, you know he's fresh out of jail, right?
No, BG.
That's BG.
Yeah.
No, Turk is the one who him and BG used to run tight. Turk now has like another podcast of his own, him and his wife.
Jericho.
Okay, can you pass me one of our sponsors, Biscoff? No.
I kind of don't want to pass you one of these.
Why don't you want to pass me
because
one?
it feels real light.
It's feeling light?
It feels light.
Well, I'm sure I can get the sponsor to send us a little something. Yes,
Do nobody
seeing
look
Third
like
Eye.
that
Who was
one,
that
'cause I would
Revolt?
like to keep all of this for myself.
So you're a little, so you saying you're a little selfish?
A little stingy.
And that Revolt, that was like the lit. If you were into the industry,
Oh,
you're
yes,
trying to
Lord.
break through, you want to meet people.
Oh, didn't they have a
network.
booth? Didn't they have a booth for Shoot Your Shot booth?
Oh, they had Shoot Your Shot. And so the Shoot Your Shot booth was for people who wanted to shoot their shot at the opportunity of getting discovered, being heard. There were a lot of record and music execs that was in the place. And so they had that opportunity, and it was sponsored by McDonald's.
Wow.
McDonald's was,
Fries.
the fresh fries. Fresh free fries.
Right out the grease.
Straight out the grease.
They were good.
Listen.
So McDonald's was a sponsor, Walmart was a sponsor,
Pepsi was
Pepsi.
a sponsor.
and so was Doritos. Doritos, which is one of our sponsors today. Huh?
Yep.
You know
We
what?
grabbed a hold of that sponsorship right while we were there.
While we was there, we got it. And
Listen, let me tell y'all, they is not playing. These chips is hot.
Those chips are good.
They are.
They are hot. So they had the Cool Ranch Flame.
Listen, now that's what I was about to talk about.
And they had these. I messed up because Markell and them got the Cool Ranch, and I was like, I don't really like
They
Cool
had
Ranch.
flaming
But
hot
this
Cool
here-
Ranch, Bishop.
Flaming hot, cool.
Those
Ranch.
came out.
Yeah.
Those came out a few months ago, and I got in.
Baby, these things hot.
Wow.
They hotter than my cup of joe.
Yeah, they.
I was sitting in the
I thought they had
podcast
some ghost
summit, and
speakers
I
in
was
there.
like, "Ooh, Jesus!" It was. Yes.
I mean, and in the Doritos, we went to the podcasting
Summit in the Dorito.
Man,
In the
listen.
social lounge.
it was absolutely beautiful. We came back with some good information.
They
as well.
definitely did. They did a great job of telling how to build your audience, monetize, get connections. It was really, really good. It was dope. It was really dope.
So when we start asking y'all to do stuff, I don't want to hit nothing. Is it a newlywed on the line?
Is it? Is she?
Hey,
sharing
Ashley.
my head?
What's happening?
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, dearly beloved.
That's funny.
I mean,
I was finna start singing that song. Congratulations. Because I feel some kind of way.
Yeah.
Because I was invited.
Oh,
We were not invited. Her.
Yes, I hope you're happy.
oh my God.
Ain't that a
would
song?
I have to? Would
That's
I-
how she sang it.
I hope you're happy.
I hope you're happy.
Mm.
No, but seriously, I'm happy for them. I'm happy for love. But yes, I feel some kind of way. Ashley, I saw on your Instagram when you were doing your little cute bride veil and stuff with her thing. I was like,
Mm.
I didn't get no invitation.
Can we make it to love, huh?
I didn't get no invitation to this. I was feeling a bit of a way. Your invitation got lost when mine got lost. In the store before they got bought.
They went to the same place.
They stayed in the store, they never got bought.
It was in the same place though. Y'all were together.
Together, separate. Right.
That's not good.
Separated from all of the people.
Oh,
Okay, she know about this in our gift life.
Ashley said the party ain't over. Stay tuned.
I'll wait on it. Like I'm waiting on
Me
my
at the
invitation.
altar in your white dress.
The picture was cute though. The picture was cute. Joe came in here showing off all the pictures. It was beautiful.
Oh, I didn't get to see any.
He was
Oh well,
showing
that's one thing I did get was the picture. Thank goodness for Joe.
off. And that heavy ring you got on this finger.
Listen,
Let me see. I didn't
listen.
see
We
it.
was having a whole little
Come on, let me see.
pre-production meeting,
Ooh,
and every time he said something to me, he would.
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
I overlooked his ring on purpose because they overlooked my invitation.
Oh my Lord! Oh, where's the shade fan, Bishop? Bishop, where the shade fan at? Oh my Lord!
She can be a little petty.
Bishop, you should have popped it on.
My
That's all
little
I'm saying.
feelings be a little hurts because I didn't get no.
You about to eat them? Because I was about to eat them too. Because I need a whole Oswald with this right here.
Listen, I was on a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm.
But check, I heard that it was so much jumping off over there. It was like live interviews and all that type of
Live
stuff.
panel.
Live panel discussions.
What about the panel we went to, Erica? With the look, I called it at the perfectly wrong time as she was stuffing her mouth with a flaming hot chip. And she's gonna have to recover from me in a second because it's hot for no reason.
Y'all eat that stuff all the time, so I don't recover. But it was Nasia, Queen Nasia, Tank, Money Long, and this guy who works for like a VP of talent or something. It was a really interesting.
Oh yeah, that is what you
panel.
wanted to go see Money Long. I hate I miss Money Long.
Yeah,
I
it was
like
a real interesting panel. It was real good. They spoke on the new wave of hip R&B compared to old R&B. Do we really believe R&B is dead? What do you say?
R&B is not dead. It's still popping, popping, real good.
It's just different now.
Yeah.
It's just different. It is evolved, huh? But it's still hip hop, huh?
Yeah.
No.
Some of them classics just ain't never gonna die. I'm sorry.
No. We're not trying to kill off.
I think that they're saying that R&B is dead because there's not as many like relevant R&B people out. But I don't think that it's dead because them oldies but goodies or whatever the case, you know what I'm saying, that are out. They're classics. You can turn them on now, and the kids still be listening to them. Like they still vibing to them. R&B is far from dead. It
I
is
think this is one
resurrected
of
like
those
Jesus on the third day.
I think this is one of those situations where two things can be true, right? One is the classics will never die. Two is that R&B is dead. I feel like R&B is dead because we don't have the
Y'all know that Erica is the youngest one on the podcast.
We don't have R&B like that. Which is why I'm able to speak about it, right? Because we don't have R&B now like they had back in the day. We don't have a Luther. We don't have a Whitney, to be honest.
We got a Money Long. We do got a Tank. We do got a what's that girl name? What's that girl name?
But to me, that's not. To me, that's not R&B. Like kind of just like Markell just said, it's still hip hop. R&B and hip hop have met and meshed and has never parted again. And the thing about it is, it should part because if we want true R&B music, we want like a Switch. Like a Jonas, we want stuff like that, like true R&B to be its own genre. We don't have that.
I'm in agreement. Now I'm in agreement.
So I would say, like I stated, this is a situation where two things can be true, right? The classics will never die, but new age R&B, it's just dead. It's not the same.
Well,
like,
for me, get out the paddles and clear.
And then I love that the girl on the panel said, you know, now R&B, the songs are like 2 minutes because she brought about people's attention spans and like they shorten the songs and now they repetitive and also they're using a lot of samples. But I also like that the other girl, to go with that, she said, you know, if we start to introduce longer songs and we start to train people on, you know, how like, oh, this is a 5-minute song or whatever, it can work.
It can work.
But the thing is, somebody
with the right
artist, and they did say that you have to have the vocal, you have to have the right song, you have to have all that.
And that's the other thing too. I will agree with on the vocal piece is they're not training them to have these long songs and things like that. Everything is like TikTok, like
2 minutes.
And I disagree that people are not into that. I think I was just having this conversation early in the office, and that is my nerves is really a little shot out with this AI situation that's coming about because I'm sure it's been pre-predicted. Y'all seen it in all of these, you know, science fiction movies where the AI come back after our butts. Like on a whole nother level. And I feel like that's because they're teaching us to be stupid. Not to question, not to problem solve, not to study, not to do any of those things. Take it at face value. This is what it is. This is the better way. The short distance is the best distance, and all of those things. And in doing that, what it is doing is making people stupid.
Making people as a collective stupid.
As a collective.
When you got a few at the top that's smart. But Bishop, you had something on that R&B thing?
Yeah, I would just like to say that, as Erica said, both points can still be true, but we also need to realize that there is a international, national music scene, and there's an underground music scene that is so untapped, it's so reachable still at the same time. You would just need to place in the name of your favorite artist on a list of something like Spotify, and you start to really hear that there is some incredible music out there in the
Incredible
underground.
artists.
I got introduced to a band yesterday. And that band, the lead singer of that band, she was amazing. She plays the trumpet and she sings. Her voice was so beautiful.
Oh, Jesus.
And so Joe is right. It's really some underground music.
You need to search.
You have to just
Every
tap
time
in.
I'm sitting in the car with Markell, the bishop, the architect, he points out some new artists I have never even heard of in my life, and it makes me rethink. Like, you know what? Man, I've been saying there's not any good music out here. Yes, actually, yes, there is. I need to open up my ears and listen and look for some new.
But because it ain't what's naturally being played.
Right, it's not going to be on your top 40 radio station.
And that's the problem. Because you have great artists out here like Lucky Day that's doing some great
Lucky Day is fire.
that are great musicians, great singers, great, great vocalists, creative. They have their brand.
I'm running my mouth. I'm really about to bust one of these juices open and take it to the head. That's how bad my mouth.
And really, their concerts be sold out. When they come to Atlanta, they be sold out at the Tabernacle and all these places, but they're not played on the radio.
Because I don't hear GeaJohn like that. I mean, he's gotten more mainstream play as of late, but that GeaJohn.
And the truth of the matter is, that's when we need to really go against the machine, right? Because these artists are great. They are great, but they don't get a lot of radio play. They don't get a lot of spin. You have to truly be a fan. And so, with that being said, we have to give those artists more spotlight because at the end of the day, because I need one.
Three cuts.
Because at the end of the day,
just bring
the old balladeers got played on the radio, so I don't understand why we don't get played now. But truth be told, no one is really singing great love ballads anymore. No one's doing belts anymore. We don't have that big note that we used to look for anymore. So it's just kind of like,
Well, I was going to turn this into a paper bag, Mama. We was going to have to take this to the head and pass it
because here's the other part of that too, right? Like when Tyrese did do Shane, for instance, with Jennifer Hudson, guess what? It was a big hit, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, it's a throwback." When Bruno Mars and what's your boy played the set, Anderson .Paak, when they did "I'ma Leave the Door Open," or when they did that whole album. Guess what?
Listen.
Now, and that album, Silk Sonic, that album was amazing. Yeah, go ahead, pad that over there too. It was amazing, right? Because it felt old school. It felt like a throwback. It felt, it felt familiar. It felt, you know what I'm saying? It felt 70s. It felt love ballad. And one of the things that Tank did mention, he said, hip hop and R&B is so fused to where even the artists but he didn't say any names, but I immediately thought about somebody like yes, please. I thought about somebody like Bryson Tiller, where it's kind of a rappy, melodic. I like Bryson too, by the way, but if he was
I can't tell you what they saying.
If he was a singer. You know what I'm saying? And not to say he's not. If he was a singer, though.
Listen, I'm a mixologist with these juices. Thank you, Simply Lemonade, for being our sponsor. Because, baby, I do my thing with this. This cranberry lemonade, they ain't playing with it.
Pinky's up. Ooh,
Pink is up.
it's so much better.
That, ooh, honey.
That cooled me right
Thank
on
you,
the back.
Lord, for sending the rain to my tongue.
Yeah, but Bryson Tiller is somewhere between R&B and rap. You know what I'm saying? Even though I love him as an artist, that's where he's at. You know, would you agree with that, DJ?
Yeah, he could sing though. He actually can sing. I
He
seen
can
him live. He can really sing. But that just goes to my point. It's kind of like these people have great voices, but they choose to merge the R&B, hip hop. They want to have that crowd. Cause Summer Walker has an amazing voice.
And I was just
She
gonna
can
mention
really
that.
sing.
Her.
Because Summer Walker, when my daughter was in high school, she was talking about Summer Walker. My daughter's been out of high school about 5 or 6 years now. Okay, they were listening to Summer Walker. She was on Spotify and all those but she was being played after you would have your playlist was maybe Jasmine Sullivan or something like that, and then all of a sudden Summer Walker would come up and play. But all the young people, they knew about Summer Walker. They knew about her before even her first project came out.
Yeah.
And so when her first project came out, when she was in her first year of college at Albany State, everybody was playing it. She was on everybody's playlist. And so by the time her second project came out, everybody knew about who Summer Walker was. But if you weren't on it early, you didn't know where to find Summer Walker. I hadn't even heard of, and I stay up on my music. I'm telling you now.
Same.
I stay up on my music. But I didn't know about this because she was on so many underground playlists. But we the people, we have to play that stuff. We have to request it. We have to make it a part
We
of
have
our
to buy
playlist.
it.
We have to, thank you. We have to buy it and support it so that the radio stations will start to take note of it, because they're not even gonna play your stuff unless you got a few million plays on Spotify.
And guess what? One play on Spotify is a fraction of a penny. Not 100, but 1,000
That's right.
of a penny. So you got to get into the millions to even see any residual
Right.
as an artist. But if you pay your 99 cent or your $1.25, what is it up to now?
It might be $1.99 or something on some of them.
But even if you really love a song, pay the $1.99.
YouTube
Pay-
is
pay-
$10.99.
Pay the one. Pay the.
Not free 99. Somebody else pay it.
But if you really love the artist, pay the $9 for the album. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? It's a digital copy, but pay the $9.
I miss
Support
when
the
albums you could listen to the whole album.
I mean,
I
you
miss
can
when
get
you
it.
could play through the whole album. I mean, like,
No skips.
yeah, ain't no skips. I got every song on there. Like,
Oh no, no.
Let's have a fun question. What's y'all no skip album? What's the album that you have?
Unpredictable Jamie Foxx.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Every single one of them things
That's
snap.
a real good one.
That is
I'm
good.
gonna tell you like
That whole album snap.
I'm gonna tell you like Tank said in that recent interview, R. Kelly's still the king of R&B.
Oh my
Facts.
Lord.
Cause that TP2,
No skips.
no. Listen. On the G
That's true,
rated,
though.
it's no skips, and on the X rated, it's
Still
no
no skips.
skips. Listen to me. That was my college get to it.
Yeah, that boy.
Right.
I was gonna go with Kirk Franklin and the Family.
Hey,
And
The
that's wrong with that, that's a
the
no
first
skip
two
too.
albums.
Yeah.
No skip.
The
The melodies from heaven one.
Yeah,
that's
what
still
you
in
looking for?
Bowling.
The
Now,
what, what you looking for is the second
What
one.
you looking for? What you looking
No
for?
skips.
Hey,
Oh,
what you
my
looking for?
Lord.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No
What you looking
skip.
for?
Oh my God! While we're talking about Kirk Franklin, really quickly,
Oh my
I didn't
Lord.
finish it.
Oh,
I didn't finish it.
I was gonna say that was what I was talking about.
I didn't
So
finish it.
anyway, but okay, entertainment. That was really good.
Where are we in this? We've been all over the place.
no, we actually been we on the list, people. The first thing was Revolt World, and the next thing was the interview with y'all. You still got the book sitting right there.
Okay, so we got Jeezy.
Jeezy.
You know, really, honestly, it was to listen to him talk. First of all,
Let
he
me
didn't-
shout out to my homeboy. Listen, we're so proud of you, boy.
we are
We so proud of you.
best-selling author.
Hey, that's powerful right there. Black man with a
I'm so
book.
proud of you.
And happy upcoming birthday.
Yep.
And
So we was at Revolt World, and y'all went and sat in on
So I'm gonna borrow your book.
on Jeezy's,
y'all didn't bring me one.
on Jeezy's his information seminar, basically, and he passed out free books to those that were in attendance.
And they didn't get me no book.
well,
You weren't in attendance.
And so Bishop, tell us
How
about.
why y'all was in attendance? Y'all should have clipped me a book.
Hey, and shout
I'm
out.
trying not to be
I
wrong.
did try to get extra books though.
We right.
I did try. I was like, let me get some extra ones, but they wasn't playing it.
Yeah, I mean, you got, but we'll let you hold a book. We got you.
Please.
We got you.
I just want to read it. It looks like it's gonna be a pretty fast read too.
Yeah, it does. It does look like a fast read. It doesn't look like it's gonna take
fast.
Yeah. You know, see, these words are fairly big. I mean, but it's probably gonna be interesting. Now, he did say he had to take some stuff out for legal reasons because he hasn't quite necessarily gotten through statute of limitations on everything that he's done in his past. But he did talk about his rags to riches story.
I know you for real, Mr. Jenkins.
And I do want to say this because I noticed that it's not a given, but in every rags to riches story, the person had to be exposed to what it was like to be rich. You had to see it, you had to visualize it, you had to be around it. If you haven't heard when was the last time you heard a rags to riches story and they never was in a place where wealth was?
You mean before they actually hit it?
Before they actually hit it.
Yeah.
Aside from being a professional athlete and being super gifted, we talking about the people that had to work hard to either get up the corporate ladder musically. You know what I'm saying? You know, somebody that had to work on the craft and or a gift that maybe they wasn't necessarily gifted with, or they had a gift, but it had to be worked and cultivated, right? You know, some people are just naturally gifted. And they don't, and let's be honest, sometimes we take our gifts for granted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But those that really had to work from the bottom, and now what happened? Who let the mosquito in?
You.
I did. I probably opened the door too long. Yeah.
Everything he's saying, I can point at myself. Gifted, taking it for granted, all of those things. These are facts. Facts.
I tried to get it. So it was bothering me too bad. So it's important for us to understand. Listen, you gotta be able to visualize where you want to go. You gotta be able to visualize at least what your finish line is in order for you to be able to attain it. If you don't know what you're shooting for, you can at least shoot for the stars so you can get to the moon.
That's true.
But you know what?
You gotta see it before you see it.
Listen, but you know what? And this is something I've consistently said, and I know that I've said this on the podcast before, and that is God don't give you utterances or unctions in your belly that are not meant for you to be able to have. There are certain places and times and things that we've done, places we've been, rooms we've been in, crowds we've been around, and there's an inside flex on you that's like, yeah, I'm supposed to be. I'm busy. Like I told y'all about that with me going to work in Essence. How I was already saying, I need a driver. I want a driver. I experience having a driver. I definitely need a driver. And I'm just saying that because so many people be like, that just seems so far-fetched. Like, who really need a driver? Like, you don't really need this, you don't need that. And listen, mind your business. You may not want a driver. I do want one. And I'm going to have me one. But I say that because there are certain times, like you go in certain neighborhoods, you're like, dang, I can see myself living in this house. Like, I can see myself being in this neighborhood. I can see myself driving this. Now, if you can't see yourself doing this, I ain't talking to you.
Right.
The truth is, your dreams are always going to seem far-fetched to other people because it ain't their dream. They don't understand it. So,
they still living in their nightmare here on earth, scared of dreaming.
It's okay.
It's okay.
If you don't visualize yourself having a driver. So,
it's okay. And it's okay that you may not visualize your YouTube station having 3,000 subs, huh? But Jericho has the audacity, You know we had about 3,100 by the way.
Really?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I didn't even know we broke 3K.
3K, yeah. But again, everybody's not gonna believe your dream. Everybody didn't believe Jeezy's dream. Everybody didn't believe Jordan's dream. Everybody didn't believe, and we can go down the list. Everybody didn't believe Deion Sanders' dream. Everybody didn't, you know what I'm saying? But guess what?
Everybody didn't believe Beyonce's dream. She loves to tell that story when she played her first album for the what you call it, the label.
Mm-hmm.
They said she did not have one hit, and she bought them 5 hits.
That she showed them
Just
was hits when they
Was
sold.
that
Just
Beyonce album
imagine.
a no skip? Was that a no skip album?
If a Beyonce album is a no skip, it'd have to be 4 for me. That'll be my Beyonce no skip album, and this new one, Renaissance. But
Okay, all right.
Well, see, for me, the one would be the one that she did.
oh, I'm sorry, Lemonade. Sorry.
Lemonade.
No skip.
That's what I was gonna get.
Lemonade is
Lemonade and Renaissance. Those will be my no skips.
now I can't say Renaissance is my no skip. Renaissance is good, but it's a couple of ones I can skip.
Renaissance is a no skip, and if Courtney got skips, we could talk about them skips, and I can say why it's a no skip.
We'll
Let me
have
tell-
to do that
Let me tell you,
another time.
and we're gonna sit through it another time, but I'm gonna say this right now. Renaissance is a no skip because lyrically, that's her best piece of work.
Now I'll give you that. I give you
Lyrics,
that. I give you that.
Oh Lord.
And
The
Bobby
only reason
Carter's
I
was good, too.
Only reason.
Oh, that's one of my favorite albums. I literally just listened to that. Another no skip. I just listened to the album the other day, The Carters.
The
I
Carters.
just randomly was like, I want to hear
I
this
agree
album.
about the Carters. But what only reason I say that Renaissance for me isn't necessarily a no skip because I gotta be in the mood. It's good, but I gotta be in the mood. For me, when it comes to Unpredictable for Jamie Foxx, it don't matter what mood I'm in, it's gonna get me where I wanna go.
Yeah, Unpredictable is a no skip. Also, John Legend's first album, no skips.
I'm
No
sorry,
skips.
I'm
I
sorry,
agree.
I'm not a John Legend fan.
Oh.
Anyway,
I'm with you.
I mean, he's a great dude and all that. I know his family. He's from the Springfield, Ohio area, but I'm just not. It
They're
doesn't.
just
It
ordinary
doesn't do
people.
it for me.
That first
I
album
mean-
is especially that song with Kanye West. When I get there, I'm
That's
like,
R&B right there.
woo.
That's R&B right
But
there.
yeah, I want to, since we're talking about all these very popular artists like Beyonce being the queen bee and all that, there is something that's been happening in the last 3 or 4 weeks that is with one of our other pop stars named Taylor Swift. And so what's been going on with Taylor Swift is it's a football player that's been basically been saying they've been going out, and this has been his way of like shooting his shot, you know, saying that, hey, you know, yeah, you know, me and Taylor, we dating, you know, and then his brother be like, man, y'all ain't dating, man, you just talking stuff, we wish y'all was dating. And so this has been going on for about 3 weeks now, and so guess what?
What?
Taylor Swift was at the football game yesterday in the box with his mama.
Oh my Lord.
Okay, so
Sound like he wasn't lying.
so my question is,
Keeping it on the hush.
it's 2 parts. One is, what do y'all think about, you know, people shooting their shot, men or women? And then the second thing is, being that, because I mean, here's how some guys look at it. And Travis Kelce got loot, you know what I'm saying? He got a nice big contract. He probably made about $50-60 million. But she just made $1 billion
I
on a
was
tour
saying
this
that they ain't
summer.
doing nothing with Taylor.
Okay.
Taylor is.
And so it's the equivalent to a lot of guys of like ASAP Rocky getting
I just heard
with Rihanna. But here's the question. One, what do y'all think about shooting your shot, man or woman? And then number 2, what makes a woman say yes when a man is shooting his shot?
If there's a genuine interest.
Go to the first question first.
What I think about shooting a shot?
Yeah.
Shoot it.
I said go for it.
Sometimes you
we
gonna
only
hit the
miss the
target.
shots we don't take.
Yeah. Sometimes you hit the target.
You
and
never hit a
sometimes you
shot.
be out base. You'll never hit a
You'll
shot.
never hit a
That's
shot that you didn't shoot.
it.
You'll never hit a shot.
I have a listen. In my time of dealing with that, one thing I will say, I have a lot of respect for the men who know that you are shooting your shot out of your league in any capacity. I have a lot of respect for y'all, but come on. All I'm saying is just come on. Like,
I mean, because sometimes it'll work, sometimes, because
I'm just saying, don't come half stepping. If she looks like she's your dream girl, or she looks like she may be out of your league, if you will. If that's what it is, just don't come up to her like she boo-boo from the projects. Just don't do her like that, because to me that's disrespectful.
There.
So on the other side,
Well, let me give
And
you
women, I'm
an
in
instance.
agreement to you.
Go ahead.
I'm saying that to you.
There's a for instance where there's a gentleman who did the exact same thing Travis Kelce did, and he got shot down. I'm talking about TMZ. She shot him down with a shotgun, and it's the same woman. This guy A$AP Rocky right now. Joel Embiid shot his shot all on national TV, all during the press conference.
To who?
To Rihanna.
She was already with somebody.
No, she wasn't. Not at that time. This was a few years back.
Yes, she was still already with somebody. Rihanna.
Who?
Joel Embiid.
He's a superstar in the NBA.
He's a superstar. He's like $100 million.
That don't mean that, but he's not a looker.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, I didn't hear. I thought that women wasn't going for looks. I thought they went for personality and all of that type of stuff.
But before I figure out what kind of personality they carry, I saw you first. Let's clear that myth. Let's clear that myth. Because unless you blind as Ray Charles, the first thing you do is you see a person. Unless you have met them online, never seen a picture of them, only fell in love with their voice, and all of those things, if that is not the case, we are visual creatures, point blank and the period. So what we're going to stop doing is acting like looks don't matter. Because they do. They matter in some capacity. Something about you has to be visually attractive. Now, do I think that we take this a little bit far? Absolutely. Because some of y'all are only visually attracted. Y'all have nothing else in common. Y'all can't have a conversation. You can't take them nowhere. They don't blend in. They stand out completely. And yes, it's great to have somebody to look at. But what do you do when you're tired of looking?
I mean, Vicky said he went from ashy to classy.
Also, I know Brianna's life because of course, I don't know her personally, but I've never known her to date an athlete either. So when you shooting your shot at people like that, you want to make sure that you are kind of in your wheelhouse. We've only seen her with people in her industry, and that could possibly be for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that artists don't have bad reps, but we all know athletes have horrible reps. Like they just, I hear women say all the time, no athletes. Like, I don't know why, but
and I even hear athletes say that.
Yeah, so
I've heard athletes say that.
We've only seen her date people in the music industry, so I don't know who the guy is, but that could be a reason as well.
But I can also understand because even in athletics is similar to music, right? In the sense that you may be on the road for long periods of time. You may be on the road for long periods of time. You're gonna come back, and people need to understand that
I've never seen him a day in my life.
I have.
And he's not from America either.
Did you hear the last name? Of course, he ain't.
Oh,
Girl, no.
So,
Wow.
Well, that's rough. Oh wow, that's a quick.
I mean, he finding somebody, but
he finding somebody. That's true.
He finding somebody, and guess what?
What Jay-Z say about?
And guess what? Because everybody likes
no
something.
thing as an ugly billionaire. I'm cute.
Listen, how many, what was his name? The camel? Chester the camel, what's the camel name?
The camel?
That camel, that was the meme, they used that camel for Jay-Z for the longest until he got with Beyonce. And then all of a sudden, all them big lips and all of that stuff changed because Beyonce wanted him. I'm just being honest. A lot of people didn't look good until they got with somebody that other people respected or found attractive. This is true.
What's that called, Bishop?
That's a more accurate picture of Joel, and that's his wife.
And do you see who this girl is? Okay. Her mama done raised her to go get her a basketball player. Let's be very clear. Let's be very clear. Her mama and guess what? But I bet you his wife ain't no Rihanna. No shade to her. She's beautiful.
She's beautiful.
But let us be very clear. Her mama raised her to go get her a black boy. Let me just. Her mama raised her to go get her a black man that knew how to shoot a ball, that she can go and make her some shoot a ball children. Let us be very clear.
Shoot a ball children. I mean,
I know that for a fact. Well, listen,
like a Kardashian.
when my godson was in school, I was so, listen, she can't use your comb, don't bring her home. That thing was real. And I ain't far from racist, any of those things. What I am saying is there are people today that are raising their little girls to marry a black man. And guess what? If we go 2 generations, and in some instances 1 generation, that whole family racist. But they'll marry them kids right on off.
How come we're not doing that? It's just a simple
We're not
question.
doing what?
How come we're not raising our young girls to get a baller?
No, they're raising these young girls to get a rapper.
They are, and that's part of the problem.
I'm in agreement.
Because honestly, if we let's go ahead.
In some instances, rappers like being a comic. No shade.
Let's dispel the myth as if it's
like being a comic. It could be up and down. You just don't never know. You got to be willing to go through it.
This should be common knowledge. Our parents knew this. Our grandparents knew this. A woman's currency is her looks, and a man's currency is his ability to provide.
Mm-hmm.
That's always been the case.
Always.
That's always been the case. So
people don't want to be honest about it.
While we sitting over here acting like that's not the case. Okay, so
I said.
Now that we got that straightened out, guess what? All of us, most of us, the what you say, 75% in the middle, the you know what I'm saying, the middle third of it, the vast majority of us are average.
Mm-hmm.
Get you an average chick, get you an average dude, build something together.
And this is the thing. Let me say this about the average. Let me just say this. Just because y'all average in the beginning don't mean greatness ain't on your life.
Hallelujah.
Let me repeat that for the people who came in late and it's in the overflow. Just because y'all got together in your average don't mean that you're going to stay in that place. Sometimes it takes 2 averages to excel. Sometimes it takes the average in her and the average in you to push y'all to y'all greatness, because it needed both of those positives to be able to elevate. But most of y'all won't even go for that. Instead, we will spend so much of our time dealing with people that looked like they were more than what they were, and they weren't. They had no substance, nothing to bring to the table. They added absolutely no value besides getting you into the VIP for free.
Joe, I want to actually comment on what you just said, because I actually just listened to this topic, and it kind of saddened me then and it saddens me now. But what they said, kind of the answer to your question, is when it comes to African American households where they are raising young daughters, we are raising black women they raise them to be independent, and that's just the truth. They raise them to take care of themselves. They raise them to be into the books, be into this and be into that. And so when it comes to black women, once we are graduated high school, graduated college, did all of this stuff, we are so independent. We buying our houses, we doing this, we doing that. And when it comes to other ethnicities, they are not raising their daughters like that. They are raising their daughters too, like Courtney said, meet a man, take care of you, provide for you. Yeah, they are raising them like that. And it's sad, but we see that it's actually a fact, because when you get to like a lot of women my age, some of them are not married, but they have buku degrees, you know what I'm saying? They can really truly provide for themselves. Like it's almost kind of like, and then when they decide to say, okay, well, hey, I'm 30, I need to be married, then they kind of settle. You know what I'm saying? We're not getting a ball player. We're not getting that. We're getting somebody to be home with us because we ready to be married and ready to build families. But the truth is, we could be the breadwinner. We could really do everything that they could do, whatever, besides procreate, of course. But that's what they said.
It's place for that too.
Well, I will say too that to add to your comment. So while you were raising women to be independent, what are we raising our sons to be?
Oh my God, they came up too, and they were saying you raise your son, they turn out to be mama's boy.
So here's the point. So first of all, let me dispel the myth that men are hoes. The men at the top are hoes.
The niggas in the middle.
No. It's about 38% of men that ain't getting none.
None.
And I'm talking about that's the Center for Disease Control. They just not getting. And when you see
That-
them, you will be like, I see why you ain't getting none. You know what I'm saying? So let's not act.
Let's not act like we don't know why they
Y'all just went in on Joel Embiid. He's $100 million man. So you know if you see.
I did not
something
go
you
in. Don't lie about that. That's not what I said. What I said is
He's not
her. He's not her looker
type.
type. Because
Yes.
at the end of the day, I could say to his wife, I bet you before he was the $100 million man, she wasn't his type either.
That's probably that's
And
right.
I didn't go in
All
on
I'm
him. All I
saying
said
is
was I never
there's
said
some
that,
dudes that y'all see and y'all know good and well that you wouldn't give him the
I said
time
the
of
same
day,
thing about Kevin Durant.
even if he was opening up the door and all that type of stuff. Some dudes,
So
they just not getting it. They're not getting it. If it wasn't, they would have
bottom
made the
30%.
movie 30-year-old virgin and 40-year-old. You wouldn't have dudes like AC Green, who we know he went through that whole Lakers era promoting I'm a virgin.
Showtime.
You wouldn't even have dudes like Tim Tebow, who went their whole football career and they was promoting saying, look, I ain't never had no, I'm a virgin. Tim Tebow just got married a couple years ago. But these type of dudes, and these are famous dudes. What about the dudes?
What'd you say, Kay?
Not a thing.
I'm just saying, these are famous dudes. Because here's what now people may not want to accept this, but this is how it actually goes. Men get with who want them.
Not always.
Women get generally who they want. In other words, guys
From a
get,
sexual point of view.
I'm serious. Generally, guys don't get with who they want. They get with who wants them. Okay? And women
That's messed
choose. Women choose.
Say that, Kay?
That's some bullshit.
I'm just saying, in general.
No, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just saying that's some bull because that means in some instances, and even as you said, it's a lot of truth to it. Ooh, that don't hit me in my stomach right.
Yeah,
but
just think
it's
about it.
hurtful because some women will want them and a man will settle and not want them, and that's some bull. Because there are a lot of men that are walking around
Yes.
wasting the time of great women who can be great wives or to somebody else. And because she chose you at a time and you weren't man enough to be honest and say, I don't want you. I don't see this with you. You wasting her time.
No,
and I don't know
no,
about
no.
nobody else, but baby, time is the one thing we do not get back.
Kay, you got it backwards. He settled for a woman that's all he could get.
That's all he was.
No, that's his
Let me finish.
Yeah, we not gonna agree on
He
this.
settled for all he could get. And
But
then,
settling for all you could get and then saying, but that's not what he wanted.
That's the
That
same
means
thing
that means that he's settling for me just because I was interested in him. He didn't want me. I'm not even his, what you basically saying is I ain't his type, but just because I wanted him, he took me.
It was better to
Yeah,
have somebody
This
that
guy is George from Slappalachian High School, okay? He's from Slappalachian, Florida. His mom and dad's from Slappalachian, Florida. That's all he ever gonna be from is Slappalachian, Florida. Of course, he would love to have Kim Kardashian. But he's not gonna get Kim Kardashian ever in his freaking life. He's gonna get Karen, who's from Slappalachian, Florida. And that's who likes him, with his big belly and his pants hanging off of him. So guess what?
with his big belly and his pants hanging out of him, he should have known that I don't care how much you want Kim Kardashian. She's not checking for you. And number two, the other thing
He could be
is
Joe
you
Embiid,
want
she ain't checking for him.
exactly, but this is the thing. Also, you should watch her track record. She done had how many husbands? And ain't now one of them wanted her. Nobody but Kanye, and that drove him crazy. So I mean, come on now.
I'm giving it an example saying that guys may want something, but you gonna get who wants you. You can go out here out this door right now. I could be gently dressed up with a weird ring on, and I open the door. Most women is not like you or like you. Y'all church women. Y'all been in the church all your life. Most of these women gonna be like, "What you opening my door for?" I don't need you opening my door.
That. I agree though that
I don't
is
need
true.
you opening my door.
When I've said in mixed company with other women that it is a requirement that my door gets open, and they were like, I mean, it's not really a big deal to me, and they look at me very strange, and I'm just looking at them like
It's different when you're a chaste woman. It's different when you're a virtuous woman. It's different when you be prayed up. It's different when you fast and you actually want to be married. And all. A lot of these people, they truly don't want the things that the church has been saying that we should be as a people. You want a successful relationship? A lot of this stuff is right there in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And we listen to it, we hear it, but then we go out the door and we do whatever we want to do. Just like First King says, when there was no king in Israel, the people did what was right in their own eyes. Everybody's doing what is right in their own eyes, and that's why we're not having a congruence in the relationship. But when we look at it, it's a great portion of men who sit at home, they go to work, they play their video games, and that's about, they work out, and that's it. And out of that portion, you got another portion of guys that actually are making between $60,000 and $120,000. And you know what? They're doing the same thing. They just go to work, they come home, they play their video games, they go down to their workout center. They're not going out, they're not going to clubs, they're not going to speed dating, they're not going to casual meetings, they're not going to the what do they call them? Casual meetups where people are networking. They're not doing that. So the women are saying, where the good men at? I can call up about 5 good men right now. You know where they at? At home watching Monday Night Football in between playing Call of Duty. And these is good dudes. They ain't got no kids. They make good money. They got insurance, and they want a good woman. But they're tired of going out, opening up doors. They're tired of going out and saying, hey, I'll pay for the gas. I'll pay for my gas. I don't even know who you are. They're sick of it.
That's my testimony, honey.
You see what I'm saying?
Don't be, ooh, baby, you look good after I go pay for
But
the
like
gas.
I said, you're not sexy red talking about Pound Town either.
I'm going to pay. I want to get 20. I want to get 20 on a silver truck outside.
You're not talking about, I just want somebody to slide.
Ain't the sexy red girl the one who said she done had the sexually transmitted
Yes.
disease? That blew my brain. I was like,
you're not talking about you're the backside blowout queen and all the other type of stuff. You see, it's a big difference. And so here's the thing. The women who is not like the sexy reds, they're not speaking up enough so that their voice is louder, not louder, just being more heard than what the sexy red voices.
So yeah, I have a new organization that I'm in the process of building, and the name of it is Somebody's Mama, Somebody's Auntie.
Okay.
And it's because all of us is either somebody mama or somebody auntie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the mamas and the aunties need to show back up on the scene because of the sexy reds that's busting it wide open and telling them bring it back. Like it's
bring back chivalry.
Honey, bring back you are a lady.
Bring back, oh my Lord. Oh Lord.
In the words of Shanae,
just regular
I'm a lady.
I'm alive.
Because I'm sorry, like don't get me wrong, y'all seen me at Revolt. I had my little shorts on, all of that, but it was still done tastefully. Like I don't understand why I got to see them cheeks. And I'm over the fact that people say, oh, it's my right to do this. We got a lot of rights.
That was one of the topics.
And all the rights.
How much skin is too much skin.
But all the rights that we have still don't make it right.
Mm.
There are a lot of privileges and rights that we have that we don't need to take advantage of or exploit, but we do it. I'm just saying, I seen more areolas and butt cheeks, the dark side of the booty.
Yeah, the cook.
Okay, so when you're talking about shooting your shot.
Yes, that's the dark side. That's where it really
Because when you're talking about shooting your shot, we got 2 instances here. One where Joel Embiid shot his shot, whatever. She shot that joint down. But then you got another instance with this guy here, Travis Kelce. He just a tight end. He make about 50, 60 million all total out of all his contracts.
Mm-hmm.
This woman that made $1 billion this summer. What made her say yes?
because she wanted something different. Something else I was gonna like tag on to that point that you just made. And this is true, Erica. I know you can attest to this. And this is nothing against Joel Embiid. I mean, the picture that I looked up, it just wasn't maybe a great picture, but I mean, it don't matter. You got a wife. What I'm saying is a lot of times, and I know this from going out to at the times that I really did club hard, or just being out in general, it's always the men that you wouldn't be checking for if you was desperate. that will come and say something to you. Whereas the men that you actually may be attracted to or just tell you how mean you was looking across the table. Or say, oh, you look good, but won't start a conversation. Yeah, they won't engage or anything because a lot of times they're looking for you or they're assuming that you're gonna shoot them down, not knowing I was checking you out from the beginning. Which for me, in a time of me really being out here in these streets, I never was the person that would just be looking at a dude from the side of the table and won't say nothing or whatever the case. I'm gonna say what I'm saying from across the bar. You decide that you want to come over here and sit by me, it's always a seat.
Now this is just in general. In general, that's only a 2% success rate. Okay?
Yeah, but the thing is, they will continue to do it. Yeah. I've had more guys who I know for a fact knew it's a no-go for me. Yeah, that still would come over and say different things to me, and I've always been respectful, always been nice. I don't believe in emasculating a man. I'm not gonna shoot you down and make you be looking crazy, which is probably why I've had more phone numbers in my phone of people that I do not talk to, because I don't want you to feel no kind of way, and I'm not gonna let your friends be like, you knew darn well that woman wasn't finna be checking for you. I'll be like, sure, we can go out to eat, we can go do this. I'm sure we ain't gonna be nothing but friends.
But here's the question: what would make you say yes though? Not what would make you say no. We know what would make you say no. We got a whole list of that stuff. What will make you say yes to a man shooting his shot?
I mean, the truth is, it just depends on the woman and what she in her life. When you looking at Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, though, Taylor is known for dating. She's known for dating around. Like, that's something she's known. So it's not new for somebody to shoot that shot at her and for her to give him a chance. And correct me if I'm wrong, he just got a relationship with himself, right? With a black girl, right? Yeah. Okay. So they're both newly single. She's just coming off a tour. So
I'm just listening.
So they both newly single. She just came off
he went black and had to go back. It wasn't for him.
Came off tour and maybe she's just looking for something to do. We'll see how it really play out and pan out. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of like, okay.
What would make you say yes to a particular guy?
I have to be attractive. It depends on what he's saying. Like, does he move me? What he got going on? Like,
or is he saying some old tired line like, oh my God, where have you been? You've been walking through clouds. It's sometimes I done heard stuff. I'm like, now that's a new one. That was good. Like, I have to.
Do you give him the number for coming to you with the new one?
I'll slide you a card quick. Now whether I answer the phone is the question.
But that's what we're talking about.
I'll slide.
What would make you say yes and be genuine about the yes?
My yes do be genuine at the moment.
That's not what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for what would make you. I mean,
the fact that you got my business card versus me handing you my phone, or you giving me your phone. The fact that I gave you my business card gave you the opportunity because it does have my real phone number on it. Now, what you do with the phone number will decide what we finna do if we finna do anything. Because a lot of men will take your number and never call you, just for the fact to say they got it, which is what for me made me stop giving my number out. Because
that's not fair, Kay.
Oh, that's very. It's true. I'm gonna tell you. It's not be fair. It's just honest.
Well, because I'm gonna tell you why it's not fair. So I'm gonna explain my point.
Explain.
The reason why it's not fair is because it took a guy a lot to walk up to you, whether he's doing it for sport or
but if he's doing it for sport, he wasting my time and his.
I gotta be honest. Like, I'm the opposite of Kay because when I was 21 or 22. Me and my friends went to a club and my friend turned a guy down. He hit her with a bottle. After that, I always give people my number. Now, if I answer when they call,
it, friend. Say it.
I have always been traumatized by that situation.
Oh, yeah.
Like we had to.
And I don't like when you as them boys be the ones who push you out.
Because of that, I give my number out. But am I gonna answer when you call? Maybe. Probably not.
Okay, but
I understand those for instances.
But that's a lot for instances.
But no, I'm not necessarily talking about that. Okay. But a lot of times people are shooting their shot. 90% of communication is nonverbal.
True.
Okay. And I'm gonna be honest, some of the hottest relationships I've ever had, it really wasn't much talking done between us. You see what I'm saying? Even in the first meeting. Okay, so shooting your shot. One time I was in the grocery store. Okay, and I have this thing for if they look like track runners or volleyball players, something like that. This girl looked like she played volleyball or basketball, used to be. And so she was in the meat section. I walked up. I was being as casual as possible, and I said, wow, what's up with the meat? You know, and so she looked like, what's up with the meat? You know, because we looking at meat. I said, oh, I'm sorry. That came out wrong. I was like, you're a really tall woman. I bet I wouldn't have a chance at you playing basketball. And she laughed. She said, yeah, you probably ain't got no shot. I'll probably back you down with all this meat. And I said, yeah, you know.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It depends on how the feeling and how it's really going. Like, I have a grocery store story as well. I guess I ended up giving somebody my number in the grocery store, but it's because he was charming. He made me smile. He made me laugh. All that stuff. Even the last relationship I had, that's a funny story too. His shot twice, and it was the second time that I was like, you know what?
Let's try this.
But that was me at that time shooting my shot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now I didn't want to just go straight out and be like, let me get your number, because at that time it seemed like a little corny point to be trying to say that in a conversation that was happening. But I had kind of made it known that, hey, I'm interested and I don't mind a tall woman. You know, but it didn't progress any further. Yeah, it didn't progress any further, but I don't know what more I could have did. It was funny interaction. She was laughing. She was flirting back and forth. What would have made her at that point just go ahead and say, shoot, here's my phone.
No, you should have asked.
Yeah, you got.
Oh, so I should have kept even going first. Should have kept pressing.
Yeah, obviously there was some kind of a little spark. And I think that's another thing. When there is a spark, most people don't add a lot of fluid to make it a flame.
How come the other person can't add some light of fluid?
Because a lot of times when you prefer to be chased.
I did.
I approached.
Yeah,
I did.
So you gotta go with that feel.
This is the part this part right here. Since we on this road,
Yeah.
let's go.
That's fine.
What kills me with this statement that just happened is you want us to trust that you have the ability to lead, but then you want us to take the lead.
No.
Yes.
That's not
Yes.
what that was.
Yes.
Hey, that's
You
not what
just
that was.
No,
said yes.
that's what it translated to me too as well.
Yes, because you
here's the
can't say, okay, now you're waiting for me to do. No,
exactly,
you
because in
It's
Joe's
called dropping
scenario,
the hanky.
I guess
No,
what I'm
in Joe's scenario,
I guess
in Joe's
what I'm
scenario,
looking
if you
for-
started, in Joe's scenario, if you started the conversation, you initiated this, you got my attention, and then you gonna walk away. And that's not what that woman was thinking, because you can't say, well, what would have made her say, here's my phone? Ask for it.
Hold on, wait a second. I guess
ask for what you want. They always say men like to chase, but then you get the meat exactly where you want it.
I'm not a dog. I don't chase. My mama didn't raise me.
No, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, I'm not a dog.
I
I
get
don't
what
chase.
you're saying, but a lot of times they
Or
say men like the chase, but then you chase and you get her into a place where she gotta either let you get her or run the other way. And then instead of going ahead and saying, hey, caution.
I guess what I was looking for, and a lot of times as men, we say things that doesn't always come out correctly.
And I think that that's the issue between men and women. Just saying.
You know, it doesn't come out correctly. But what I'm stating is, even in all of that interaction, men are looking for what is called an indicator of interest. And playful banter, soft flirting, does not necessarily qualify for that. Because
I agree. I do agree with that.
Because in many times, if you push it further, it might have been funny at first, but she could actually take that as harassment. That you just not leaving her. She may not have been in the store for that. And even though it was funny or whatever, and she said something back, that might have been all she wanted, was just a little playful banter back and forth.
But you're not going to the grocery store thinking that. That's number one. And number two, the fact that she even engaged.
That doesn't mean she's an indicator of
No.
interest.
I'm saying the fact that she engaged said there was some kind of interest. Because most women, if there is absolutely no interest, I've seen it. Well, there's absolutely no engagement. It's like
True, but
and
that's
turn
not
around.
an
But what?
indicator of interest that you would like
It's
to.
a whole lot more of an indicator than absolutely nothing. And I think that a lot of times in the terms when it comes to men is because y'all are looking for that indicator, and in our minds we've given you that because we have engaged. That's where the trigger don't get pulled. And then there's a lot of connections that are missed because the trigger wasn't pulled. And for a lot of women not like me as far as like being more assertive, being like, oh, that was cute. Like, well, what you doing tonight? Or, you know, can we talk sometime or whatever the case may be if I'm interested.
Well,
But what I'm saying is a lot of women don't do that. But what I'm saying is in a lot of instances, you actually be right there at it. And won't pull the trigger because it's like, well, I don't want to come across this way. I don't want to come across that way.
That's very dangerous.
But the thing is, you may not.
You saying that's very dangerous nowadays, but you made a meat joke. That could have been.
But we were standing at the meat counter.
But it could have been very easily misconstrued, especially. But it wasn't. She found it funny, and I know. And to me, where the real clue came in is when she said, "Yeah, I probably would if I put all this meat on you," which indicated that she knew that she put this meat on you, she could win.
But that does not.
I'm just saying.
That does
But
not.
I think that meat. But by the way, I think that meat joke was the indicator. Fair enough. Cool.
Was that a double
But
entendre?
huh?
An adult entendre.
A double entendre.
Double entendre.
Yeah. But I will say in that it a lot. I think what Kay is saying is correct. There's a miscommunication and just the art of conversation having, because this digital age, it's slide into your DM as opposed to, hey, I thought this interaction was interesting. I would love to continue this. Easy enough, right? You shoot your shot. I would love to continue this over maybe dinner or lunch sometime. You got some free time? I get it. Pull the trigger. I get what you're saying. But honestly, unless and Joseph and I might be an exception from the rule because of the industries that we worked in, having to interact, being raised in a different generation and all that stuff. Well, is the guy that say in his 20s a different type of guy and may not necessarily pull the trigger?
Right.
I mean,
because me myself, I actually didn't even think about the interaction until I got back in the car, and I was like, dang, I probably could have asked her for her number, but I wasn't think. I was in the store to get me something, and I was just doing what I was doing. I wasn't trying to. I guess a lot of guys, they go out trying to pick up women. But I actually believe that the fine part of finding a wife doesn't mean you're actually looking for treasure. It actually means you just out doing your thing and you look down and like, oh, here's $100 bill. I found it. You see what I'm saying? That's more like what I think of when he who finds a wife, he finds a good thing. And so I just think that many times there's not enough in the interaction for guys to pick up on clues, okay? And I don't think there's enough on the other side of dropping the proverbial hanky, just really to make it clear, nicely, femininely obvious. I'm not saying shoot your shot or anything like that, but it definitely would have made a difference. Like, I'll take you up on that game. Then guess what? If you already told me you was gonna back me down and all that. So you say, hey, so if you ever want to do that game, then okay.
So how did that end? How did that interaction end?
It was. I said, well, I'm not gonna keep bothering you, whatever. We've been past overtime, but the relationship stuff is so juicy and fresh and hot, and all the other type of stuff. We jump on that, it takes over. But basically, I just kind of got my meat, and she took hers, and we went on. We went the other way.
So both of y'all left with y'all meat in y'all hands.
It's true, but that's typically a black people interaction. As far as how many times does that happen to you in the store, Bishop? You saw a nice woman, y'all talk, kikied it up for just 30 seconds or so, and you moved on.
I don't meet people for the first time, so You know what I'm saying? Everybody's a friend as soon as I see them and start talking to them. So that hasn't been my personal issue. So I typically, and I have picked up, you know, ladies at different. I picked up one at a funeral. She was standing by a pole.
Wow.
I started talking to her. This was at the reception after said funeral, downstairs in the church. She was standing by a pole. I started talking to
You
her.
resemble the lady that I gave the one suit the night before.
And I was like, you look real
Look
good
holy.
near this pole. She said, let me get from over here. And we continued to talk. She laughed. She made a joke. I guess she flirted a bit. We interacted. We started talking. We kept talking. I ended up getting her number. We went out a couple few
5 years later, y'all still together.
No, I'm done.
No.
Mayor, I was just joking.
No. Yeah, because it wasn't the mayor.
I know, it was
It wasn't the mayor. But, you know, again, yeah, not necessarily my issue. What we at, Bishop?
We passed on
We
time and
overtime.
overtime and been gone and all that type of stuff. We didn't get a chance
Yeah,
to
we
get to
missed
the
each
church
other. We just
of
talked around
R&B
down today.
and all those type of things. But I guess the relationship is really important, especially to the church. It's been so much talk about the manosphere, and I guess this will be our final sip, and how Black relationship and Black love, it's been a struggle for marriages and all those type of things. And I would just like to encourage everybody that's out there, you know, there is somebody for you. There's 8 billion people probably on this earth. There's somebody out there for you, okay? And we need to be able to put ourselves in positions as women so that we can be found. And men, we're gonna have to get out of the house and just stop going to work, playing video games and working out, and actually get out there, put some effort into meeting people. And this is important. And make sure when you out there, realize if somebody's treating you bad, somebody's wasting your time, you know, they're not giving you the same energy, all that type of stuff, you know, just, you know, they don't have your back, they're not thinking about you, they don't do the things that you would need for them, it's been time and all that, you need to be kind of moving on, okay? And in the same instance, if someone is loving on you and they giving you everything and they treating you good and they think about you more than you thinking about yourself, and they there for you on your birthdays and in your sad days and in your tough times and in your weak times and when folks stabbing you in the back, you need to realize them folk love you. Okay? They love you. And sometimes, as my mama say, you might do good hanging around folk that love you.
You might do
real good hanging around some folk that love you. And some of the worst mistakes I made in my life is being in situations, and then 2-3 years later I realized, dang, shawty, look, she was crazy about her brother, and I didn't even see it. I couldn't even tell it because I was just whatever. You be out your own mind, you know, stuff. But I just want y'all to know we love y'all. We didn't get to the sermon notes and all that, and Bishop's getting ready to cut us off. But I just want y'all to know, in the words of K. McCall, it doesn't matter how little your thing is. You know what I'm saying? You can make it.
You can make it. It's still your thing.
That's not what it is.
And never leave the grocery store without your meat.
That's right.
I couldn't resist.
And we love y'all.
As you said, we keep
Shout out to our
the
3,100 subscribers. We love y'all.
We love y'all. As you said, we keep you out to pass your curfew, Bishop.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Peace.
Peace.
Chicken grease.